Hello there everyone, your fluffy armchair Admiral Latter is back with some more hot ship action. Today's episode of Lots of Guns, we are going to take a look at one of the missions that were added with 1st of April's update. Those were like fun missions. I've already featured one of them, which was USS Monitor. You probably remember that, and during that episode I managed to build a CSS Virginia. However, I never took it for a spin. There is no such plan. However, we are going to play as well with the hull of CSS Virginia. However, we are not going to build CSS Virginia. At least not the ship that historically was represented like that. We are going to try to finish this mission, however, and I think I found a way how to finish this mission because it turns out to be pretty much hard mission. It's really tough mission. It's mostly tough because of time limit. It's very tough because you are an underdog in this mission. Unfortunately, you can't use high caliber guns that you would use on USS Monitor. I think the biggest gun you can use is 10 inch, and there's only one at the front, pointing to the front alongside the ship, and one that's pointing exactly to the back of the ship. So there's very narrow window of opportunity to actually use that high caliber gun. Apart from that, all you have to rely on is casemate guns that can go up to 8 inch. And they are not super effective. Anyway, I think I managed to find a way. So, sit down, relax, grab your cup of tea or coffee, and enjoy the show. So, we are going to use firepower, Virginia, like a mission. So that's our hull, and we are not going to touch anything in terms of specifications of that, because there's not much to change when it comes to displacement. Speed, we will drop it down. And I know what you're gonna say. It's crazy. It is. I will increase the amount of bulkheads, because we need many bulkheads. We need to survive this mission somehow. We are going to take super heavy shells. And we are going to use ballisted. I really need ballisted. Pretty much when it comes to armor, we are all set. Almost. But we'll fix it when we get the guns on. So I will take 9 inch guns instead of 10. But there is a method in this madness, so stay tuned. I am also going to take 8 inch guns and place them alongside the hull. And that's pretty much my armament for today's mission. And we went a little bit overweight, but that's not a big deal. In fact, what I can do is... Can I? Yes, I can. I will make my ship smaller. I know. You might think, okay, but that's gonna make it too big. No, it isn't. Reduce the belt armor to 7 inch. I will increase secondaries to 10, turret to 10, conning tower to 0, because we don't need that. Pretty much the rest can stay. So now I will install secondary tower. I will install the main tower, and I need a funnel. And I'm 78 tons off my target. Think where I can save a little bit. I can take less ammo, that's for sure, but I don't want to do that. I can take slightly lighter shells. To the top is not making any difference. But belt extended are places where I can save a little bit of space. Anyway, that is going to be our warrior. We don't have much of these guns, but they are big and they are placed strategically so that we can pretty much keep firing at the enemy. We don't need speed, that's why we dropped it to 5 knots. We don't need high displacement, but we need a lot of bulkheads, because enemy will definitely set fires and enemy will start floodings, and we don't want to sink because of that. So we can pretty much do a top secret maneuver of stopping and then increase the speed to maximum. I mean, time conversion can be set to maximum. And that's pretty much the way we are going to finish this mission. There is no other philosophy in that. All we have to do is wait until Maine will come closer, and she will. She eventually will come closer, while at the same time Misery will perhaps wait for us until we finish. And if not, she will be moving, which is also a good signal for us to start moving ourselves. But for now, we can stay in one place and wait for enemy to come. It will make things a lot easier. Because as long as we are not moving at all, we get slight accuracy bonus. Because it's definitely much easier for our gunners to aim at target that is moving on its own, while we are not moving at all. On the other hand, if we will start moving and maneuvering, our ship definitely can't keep up with USS Monitor. So our best chances is to stay in place. Enemy will be sailing around us, but we have an upper hand and we can keep firing at the enemy. We will keep hitting the enemy and we will start fires and floodings, and that's what we want. Okay. As enemy is getting closer, our accuracy will improve, that's for sure. We don't need to worry about torpedoes, we don't need to worry about avoiding enemy shells, because that's not going to happen even if we start moving. So for now, our best chances is to stay still. There we go, our first flooding. We also managed to damage the steering gears. There we go, we also set fire on Maine. That looks really good for us. Can we follow up? Well, that wasn't a successful shot. That wasn't a bad shot, but I would like it to be better. Come on, come on. Well, we took some damage to our casemate, but with 10-inch armor, on our secondaries or casemate guns. I wish good luck to Maine to actually destroy them. It's not impossible, but it will be very hard for the enemy to actually do that. Misery is actually peacefully waiting for me. He also placed himself or herself in a position where my armor is angled towards her, so I don't even have to move away. She will waste ammo, most likely causing no damage or very little damage, while I can peacefully deal with Maine. But that's a bug that's related with this mission. It's because these two ships are in a division or in a same group. So as I'm not moving away, Maine is very close to Missouri, and in order to not prevent Maine from maneuvering, Missouri is just waiting. When we sink Maine, Missouri will start moving again. But until then, we can peacefully just enjoy our time and get rid of first target, so that the second target can arrive. It is still a tough mission, I have to admit. It relies mostly on luck, which is not the best mission design. Our guns are not able to actually destroy the target, or it's not that easy to actually make our guns to destroy the target. As you can see, most of our shots are either bouncing off the target or these are partial penetrations. We don't have access to reliable propellants apart from improved firepower mission. Oh, that was a critical hit on Maine. Anyway, we don't have access to too many good propellants, so we really have to rely on luck in this one. We will still win, we will still succeed, I can guarantee you that. Sooner or later I can make it happen, but the mission will rely on luck quite a lot, and it's not the best mission design in that case. It's not an official mission, so I'm not too worried, but definitely this mission needs some work. Anyway, Maine has put out the fires, but as you can see, just a single fire that we started caused a lot of structural damage. We pretty much took a third of that ship's health with that single fire, while in our case we are somewhat a bit more resistant to fires and floodings because we took a bit more bulkheads. So it's going to be much easier for us to actually get rid of those negative effects. The only problem that we have is time at this moment. Enemy is virtually unable to deal a lot of damage on its own. Okay, we managed to cause a flooding in the rear compartments of Maine. Can we eventually follow up with another shot that will cause another flooding in front compartments? I don't think it's gonna happen, because in order to start flooding we need that 9-inch guns. But we can always start fires, and that is our main way to actually deal damage to the enemy. Obviously Maine will move further away while doing this part of the circle because she needs to go around Missouri. So I might eventually think about switching my fire to Missouri when Maine is doing this part of the circle, in order to save some time. because obviously Misery is still firing at me at some point. But as you can see right now, Maine is getting closer and closer, but we are still able to continue fire on her. We started flooding and we started a fire. There is a high chance that Maine won't survive this circle, which will turn the Misery on and hopefully trigger our victory. Alright. We keep damaging enemy, but we don't get those lucky rolls where we follow up one flooding with another flooding, and that's the biggest problem. I can cause some damage to the enemy. As you can see, I managed to reduce the enemy down to 60%, but I'm unable to cause that critical damage, and that is the biggest problem of this mission. Your ship just literally can't deal that much damage. However, our accuracy is at 71-72%, which is giving us a really high chance of actually winning this mission. If I would start moving, my accuracy would drop to just like 14-15%. Okay, I caused another flooding on Maine and she is going down. There we go. So now that triggered Misery to actually start moving, which is pretty much almost end of this mission. We just need to score a couple of hits on Misery. She's pretty much quite similar to Maine, with the difference that Misery has 12-inch guns, which are much more dangerous to us. We don't need to do anything though. We literally don't even have to move. Misery will do everything on her own, so we might as well wait. We can eventually start moving, but there's no point in doing such thing. As you can see, we managed to start a fire, cause a flooding, and Misery's floatability went down to 40%. We caused another flooding. We damaged the engine pretty much with first few shots. So the biggest chance for Misery that she has, and she still has a chance to actually destroy my ship, is to score a critical hit that will cause a detonation. Because I'm not too scared of fires and I'm not too scared of floodings, because those won't take me out of the action unless Misery can follow up with consecutive flooding shots. As you can see, it didn't take long for me to actually put out the fire, while at the same time, without even moving, I managed to take out the Misery as well. And that is the mission completed. It wasn't the longest video I've ever made. However, I hope it was very informative. It's going to be released as a bonus video, so definitely I won't take a spot for the main video of the week. But I hope you enjoyed this very short episode. It was meant to be like informative. It was meant to basically showcase how to beat this mission in particular. Obviously, I believe that developers, when they see that video, will eventually fix that issue with Misery, and both ships will eventually actively circle around me and try to shoot at me from different angles, because obviously the angle at which Misery has stopped prevented her from dealing critical damage to me. I was focused dealing with the other ship. However, Misery just stopped at an angle, so her shots were less effective, despite being larger caliber and much more dangerous opponent for me than actual Maine, or than USS Maine. So yeah, that was a huge issue on AI part, because AI should be able to recognize that this is in fact an issue, and split those ships between two separate groups, and eventually like order those ships to circle around me all together instead of separately, because right now I just could beat them one after another, and I had more than enough firepower and time to actually do that. So the only factor that could make me fail this mission in this case was luck. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new uploads, hit that notification bell button, and don't forget to share your comments down below. Have a great day and see you all later. Later. Out.